Nice. Come on, Micronet. Hey, YouTubers and friends, how you doing? I'm doing absolutely fabulous, and I hope you are too. Welcome to another episode of In the Shed with Ed, where we turbocharge my Gold Cube with Dream Math. That's right. I told you how I turbocharged my banjo pen. Now I'll show you how I turbocharge my Dream Mat. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
In the shed with In the shed with Ed.
Alright, YouTubers and friends, we're going to turbocharge my Gold Cube, and I'm going to show you how. But first, if you're new here, I'm Ed Marvin. This is In the Shed with Ed, brought to you by Flashing Your Pen. If you're not yet a subscriber, please take this time to hit the subscribe button. It's free, and ring the notification bell. Now we got that out of the way. Many of you know Toledo Jess and I use Dream Mat. Dano, it's a whole nother story, but he likes the way it works, and Patrick's Gold Cube, in my Gold Cube, in my Dread, Sleuth, and Banjo Pen. And when the inventor of Dream Mat, David Peterson, came up with the mini mat for the Gold Cube, Toledo just brought it to my attention and stuff, and I'm like, as you know, the conveyor belt vortex matting is adhered to the trays and kind of stapled around the edges, and I was kind of reluctant to pull it out, but I did. And I put in a bigger mat. I put in this mat here, and I like the way it worked really good. And I had no problem tearing out the next mat. But now you can use this mat, but I personally, it's okay if you put in your top tray, not your slick plate tray, your top tray. And here in a minute, I'll show you how I have mine configured. He reminded me about how easy Dream Mat's to clean. I have it in my Power Sluice, I have it in my Dredge, I have it in my High Banker. And it's a breeze, snap to clean. Where you know with this matting here in the cube, you have to wash it this way. Bring it over, wash it this way. And then to begin with, you have to scrub it down really good to get all the air, bubbles out of these little pockets. If you don't do that, your gold goes right over. So you have to take a brush in there while it's running and get all the air bubbles out. We call it priming your mat. Yes, you have to do it on the Gold Cube with the Dream Mat, like I said before. Not the bigger Dream Mat, only the Micro Mat. And it takes no time at all, really simple. This is the mini mat right here, and I absolutely, see, look at it. It's engineered by a mechanical engineer, David Peterson, came up with this baby. It's quite the history and cool story behind his product. But where does gold drop out? In eddies, in slacked area, vortex areas, it drops out. Behind boulders in a vortex, drops out. What you catch my drift. And so then he has the micro mat, which you've seen before. It's smaller. There's the mini mat. And yes, I had no problem at all after using it the first time. I kept this one down. I tore this one right out. Sorry, Mike. Don't get me wrong. Mike Pung is a great guy. Comes up with great ideas. The banjo pan, I love it. The gold cube, I love it. Mike, great guy. I love his sense of humor. Great guy to be around. David Peterson, great sense of humor. I'm sure he's a blast to be around, and hopefully this coming spring I will be. But so since I'm kind of partial to Dream Mat. I've used Gold Hog. I've used Miracle Mat. I'm an old miner's moss and expanded metal guy myself. And all that is behind me now. And I pretty much only use Dream Mat. But here's how I have my cube configured. The trap here, the gate is great. Works just like Mike Pung intended it to work. Mike and Red Wilcox. And you have your slick plate, you have a gate, you have your tray where a mat goes. You have your tray where a mat goes. You have another trap, a gate, which gets your bigger stuff. You need to still classify down to a maximum of like 1/8 of an inch to use it. Pretty much any mat in the cube because of the gates. If you go over that much, you'll have big material get stuck in the gate, and then the gate can't work properly. So classification's very important with the gold cube, as many of you know. I do like deep V matting for getting an instant look at the values that might be in my cube or in a sluice. So on my slick plate, you see I have just about 1/3 of it with DP matting. And I have a clip right there I made out of a stainless steel drip edge for masonry. And then I have about 1/3 of the way deep V mat, then my slick plate, and there's the gate right there. Fits down. It fits down in this area if you don't have a gold cube and know, and it causes the gate like an inverted riffle, and it causes the material and the heavies to lay down in there and push the lighter stuff out. Now here's my second tray. I have mini mat in it. I have another clip here I put in to hold in the mat. You don't have to glue it in. You don't have to staple it in. you just have that clip in, it holds it. It pulls out easy for cleaning, and then you dip. All the cells are empty. Onto the next one. Then in my bottom mat, I have the micro mat. And the micro mat catches all the finer stuff that may have got past the gates and the middle tier with the mini mat on it. All of these are available at www.prospectorsdream.com. And the Dream Mat alone saves you a lot of time in clean outs. The faster you do a clean out and get it back together, the sooner you can run more material. The more material you run, the more gold you capture. It's very simple, very easy. Put this back the way it goes. I'll flip it around. Maybe you can see it. See that? Maybe? Okay, see that clip there? You just get this edge started up in that clip, and then you push it up in there, and it's good to go until you're ready to do another clean out. And then you have your slick plate on top. Then you could put your cube banker on, your trommel, or run it just the way it is. I run this for bolt concentrates I may have. I run this on the gravel bar, on the beach, wherever I can run it. I've run it. I just wanted to show you how you too can turbocharge your gold cube with new matting by prospectorsdream.com. The micro mat, the mini mat, and you can't beat like 100% satisfaction. Dave's customer service is awesome. So there it is. Don't need that running. So there it is. My cube supercharged with Dream Mat. Two great inventions by two great guys combined into one super piece of equipment. Yeah, they complement each other. That's just my opinion. And if you don't like it, oh well. I can't please all the people all the time. But if you do, check it out. I guarantee you'll like it. So, until then, may you always have a flash in your pan. That's right. And maybe one day too, I'll meet you on the river. I'm out of here.